So this thrift haul is from Value Village, which we don't have where I live, but we have where I grew up at. And whenever I go visit home, I like to go there because the prices are actually what more in line with what I would consider thrift prices. And typically, they either have, on days they have half off everything in the store, or they have half off all clothing, and what I'm primarily going there for is clothing. And so, it's good for me. First thing I got are these. Yeah, they're a little beat up. So these were $2.25. And they actually were scuffed up, so I had to, I don't have black shoe polish, but I took acetone and cleaned the scuffs off, so, now they just look like the rest of my shoes that are worn out. Anyways, they're a low-heeled black Mary Jane, and they're from Nine & Company, which is a brand that I like. And these are probably from the style, I would say from the early to mid-90s. And yeah, I mean, they have been well worn. So, I don't know if I can get away with wearing these to work or not, if they're fancy pants enough, but they're leather Mary Janes that are pretty comfy because of the low heel. So, those were $2.25. And I actually got so much stuff and was given so much stuff and had to take so much stuff. Oh, look at that. Hey, Frizzball. That just made it worse. For the wedding, that I had my friend drop me off at FedEx the day I was flying out. And I had them weigh my suitcase, and it weighed like 49.5 pounds, and so the bag limit is 50 pounds. For second bag, it's an additional $35. Or, if you don't have an additional bag, then the overweight limit fee is $100. I was flying on Delta, so that's what their rules were for that flight. And I decided, well, what if their scale is off? Not that I would think FedEx's scale would be off, but I'm like, what if Delta's scale is off and it's so close, and they say, oh, you're over the limit, and, yeah, so we just shipped the shoes back. So to ship the shoes and some others, I think I shipped, like, all the dress shoes that I wasn't going to, I don't know, use for a week or two back. The shipping was, like, $20, so I don't know if I really saved any money on this whole thing, but I was given like money for a cab and shipping and stuff and baggage, so whatever. My dad paid for me to ship back the cheap shoes. So, and then I got this Eddie Bauer skirt, and it's actually it's a little big, but it doesn't fall off. I can like shimmy it down without unfastening it, but it doesn't, like, fall off when I walk, and it does have belt loops. They're kind of skinny. I don't think I did wear this to work, to my old job once, and they didn't fall down. I don't know that this is fancy enough for me to wear to my new job. It's not denim, per se, but it's kind of in the vicinity of denim. Anyways, this is really cute, and I have a couple shirts that match with it already, so who knows? This was like $2, I think. Yeah, you see? I should actually put that back on the hanger. Then I got this, like, sparkly Christmas top, and it's white stag, and I don't know how much where this will get. I don't really like white stag sizing on me. Too short. But anyways, so I have that. I can wear it to our Christmas party. I'm sure there will be several Christmas parties or holiday parties. And I got this Craft and Borrow sweater. So this is acrylic, but it's really ploofy and thick, and actually when I go to that thrift store, I always seem to find tons of Craft and Borrow sweaters. So it's like people get them as Christmas presents, and I think Craft and Borrow they have at Kohl's, I think. Kohl's carries them, maybe Boston Store and Macy's do as well. And so I think people buy stuff on super clearance at Kohl's, and then they're like, oh, I'm not really going to wear this, and it ends up at Value Village. Fine by me. So again, I think this was like $1.50 or $2. And then another Craft and Borrow sweater. This one actually is Raimi cotton, lamb's wool, and other fiber. So it's only 1% lamb's wool. So the snowflakes here are what is the lamb's wool. It's so softest. I wore this because it was cold. So I wore this on the day I flew out, which was in September, and I felt kind of like warm because to me this is like a winter, it's not, well, it's a winter weight, but it's also an acceptable fall weight. And you can see the sleeves are plain a little bit. But I felt silly. I felt like I looked my age for once, or looked like someone's grandma, or I don't know, I felt silly. And then this I wore last night because it's finally not 100 degrees. We're into the land of extreme temperature swings, so during the day it's almost too hot to it's too hot to wear long sleeves, really, and it's almost too hot to wear socks or long pants. But at night it's freaking cold, and in the morning it's like I need a winter jacket. So I wore this last night. It's another Craft and Borrow zip up sweater, and this one is 83% acrylic, 17% polyester, and it is also really soft, and it is like a black. So my total price for that haul I think was $24 with tax. So some of these items must have been more than $1.50. Maybe they were like $3.50 or something. That's all for that one. I love going to Value Village. I wish we had thrift stores that were that cheap, that had stuff that I liked in them. We don't really have cheap thrift stores because we're like this little island of civilization surrounded by nothing. So everyone thinks their shit, excuse my French, is golden and is worth way more than it ought to be. But if you live back east and there's not more than a quarter mile that isn't developed, you can go to the flea market in Kentucky and get a cast iron skillet for $10. Here, you go to the flea market and try and get a cast iron skillet most of the time, and be like, oh, it's an antique. It's $75. And you can go to Walmart and buy one for $40. It's not going to be an antique. It's not going to be as high quality. But ain't nobody going to pay $75 for a cast iron skillet. Just saying. And that's not really the kind of thing you can cost effectively buy on eBay. So I found this painting I wanted at the Discovery Shop yesterday, but it was like a bona fide antique. And I really wanted it for my bedroom because my bed is an 1880s red oak bed frame, and I kind of want to keep that going as I add pieces to my bedroom. And I got like a really good deal on it. And I had to like go to another city and bribe my friend with gas money to take her pickup truck and go get it, but they just wanted it out of their garage because they were eventually selling their house and moving to a more cost-effective place because their kids were grown up and no one wanted it, and it was like this heirloom piece, and their family, and they wanted it to go to someone who would love it and cherish and care for it like me. But I don't want to pay like 3 times what I paid for my bed frame for a dresser. So I'm just putting it out there to the universe. I'm looking for some 1880s, 1890s, 1900s red oak furniture, dresser, vanity. Not that there's room in my room for a vanity, but anyways, I thought this painting would be perfect for my bedroom, and they wanted $75 for it. And I'm like, well, you know, like 15 or 20, I might have splurged, but I just couldn't spend $75 for a painting yesterday. And it wasn't like a big painting, it was like a 5x7 size painting. So there you go, Value Village. On to number 3.